This is part 2 of making the boxed round cushion. I thought I'd let you join back in when I'm just before finishing the piping, just to remind you, you have your 1¼ inch strips or 3½ centimeters, whichever you prefer, and your 4mm piping cord, and you want to go to your biggest stitch, and you don't want to go nearest to the piping but kind of halfway in, because that's a preparing stitch, just that you don't run out of hands. The most important thing is that you have it on top of each other, and remember, always you prepare to the end of the machine. So you prepare to here, and that's the one time when I'm happy for you to go behind the machine with your fingers, because you need to push quite a bit, push and pull quite a bit. And if you're obviously pushing and pulling, the biggest stitch gets even bigger because it's jumping, but that doesn't matter, that's okay. So just a bit more. So obviously now you need double the amount of the height of the cushion, because you have piping on the top and on the bottom. Oops, forgot that. And you always open the seam allowance, okay? You open the seam allowance and then you fold it over, that you don't have bulk here. So, and then we are nearly finished. So, you see, that's kind of a rhythmic thing. You fix the front, and then you support from the back, and you have it firmly in your grip between front and back, and then you push it through to here. So, and then you cut, and then we go back to the beginning. So then this is our concealed zip, and we open it up and we use it from this end here where the glider is. And remember, we don't go straight at the beginning, we leave quite a bit of space, and there we start again tucking the zip in, so you can leave your biggest stitch, and you can also leave the needle to be not the leftist but somewhere in the middle. So you put your needle on, and your needle is your best pin, so put your needle down, and then we'll investigate. We have got the glider. The glider needs to be out the road, that's not our friend. And then the teeth have to be just on top of the piping. And then you see with my left hand, I'm pushing the zip on top of the piping, and with the right hand, I make sure it doesn't move. See? And then always prepared to the end of the machine, and then we rattle it in. Here you go, always on top of the piping. Here you go, little by little. The length of the zip doesn't matter, because you're quite happy if it's a big opening, so the cushion filling will go in easily. And see where I have my hands. I have the left hand avoids it falling over, and the right hand avoids it slipping back. So here we are, and when you come towards the end, you swerve out, see, like so. So, and now I'll have decided to use the yellow so that you see the gray better against it. So we go on it anywhere you want, and we line it up to the edge. And now we need to sew it in properly. That's our last round, okay? So I go to the leftist position, and I go back to my normal stitch, which for soft furnishing is 3.5 millimeters. So, and then we'll make sure it's here at the edge, and we go little by little, 2 inch per 2 inch. And now you need to go as far left as you can. See, and again, with my left hand, I make sure it doesn't slip in, and with my right hand, I make sure it doesn't slip out. Here, you fold it over and you stay behind the piping. It is more important that you are really near behind the piping as really near behind the zip. You need to see a little bit of the concealed zip in soft furnishings, because otherwise it's all a bit too tight in there. The zip won't close. But you need to make sure you're really near to the piping. Otherwise, the piping is floppy and empty. Do you see what I do? I go little by little. This you need to do slow. And here my fingers pushing and pushing. Here. So you really need to have it in your grip. It's not allowed to do what it wants. See, I'm pushing here in the curve and I'm holding against it from here. But my foot is still enclosed, so the needle can't really get me. I really like the zipper foot. So to here and to here. So, and then you swerve out, and then we'll tuck the rest of the piping in, and you stay a bit out on purpose, right? You don't go near the piping, you stay out here, and all you make sure is that you follow the curve little by little by little. See, my thumb has a big job here. My thumb is holding this down. I seem to have developed a lot of power in my fingers over the time, because this is rock solid. That won't move anymore. So here you go. You go all the way around. So, and now we are coming back together here. Let me get these threads off. So, here we have this and we have this. So let's take it out. You cut this off and then you lay it out. You lay it out and you make sure you have an overlap of about 2 centimeters. So we are cutting here. See, the longer one, we are cutting here. So cut it. And then you see your overlap is about 2 centimeters. And now you open it. And you open this side. And now this overlap of 2 centimeters gets spread evenly with 1 centimeter to either side. Push it in. Make sure you don't lose your thread. Give me a second. Put your needle down. Make sure it's a nice straight line. And close it as well. Lock it in. And you sew a connection of 1 centimeter. So now, when you lay it back flat, it is flat. So in there, you open the seam allowance, you overlap the cord, and then you cut both cords to half. That means you ensure that there is no gap. There's 2 halves on top of each other. That's better than cutting in the middle and then this maybe making a gap, and then you have a moment where you have no piping inside. And then we just sew that on. It doesn't matter where you hit, as long as the piping is nicely in there and the whole thing lines up to the edge and nothing is pulling. See, everything is flat, like so, right? I'm gonna stop here and start part 3.